one of the videos that you just saw was for the Google Science Fair. That just actually launched at midnight last night. It's in its second year. It's an extremely exciting project. So the Science Fair last year attracted over 10,000 applications from 80 countries, and in the end, 3 girls won the competition. One of them actually came up with a solution to actually improve chemotherapy care. So these are, this is not just some, small little project. These are kids aged 13 to 18 who are, really making amazing contributions to science. So if any of you are involved in schools, I would really encourage you to let your kids know about the Google Science Fair. Applications just opened yesterday. It's also available in multiple languages. So even if you're not based in the UK, don't worry, it is available in multiple languages. So that's just something we wanted to give a shout out to. So do visit us on google.com/science fair. So this presentation is on Chromebooks in the classroom. So you might have seen the bank of lovely Chromebooks over there. Once we're finished here, you can go over and have a quick play. Chromebooks are brand new to Google. They're launched only a few months ago. They're available in multiple countries: UK, Ireland, France, Spain, Italy, Netherlands, and most recently Denmark and Sweden, also Germany. So these are something that are mostly available in probably most of your countries. Extremely new technology, but these are something that we feel are really valuable in the education space. So also, if you have some of our lovely, can I borrow this from you for a second? Some of our lovely flyers here that you can grab from some of our bikes. When you open them up in the back, you'll see here some case studies from some UK schools who are actually actively using Chromebooks in the classroom. So I would encourage you to have a look at those, check those out, and also this evening, Also this evening you can also see one of those schools, St. Ursula's, who's presenting here at 12:45. So if you really want to see how some schools are actually really using them in real life, do come along to that presentation at 12:45. So just to give you an indication, what are Chromebooks? Chromebooks essentially are a connection to your Google Apps account to the web. So this, I think, really clearly illustrates what they are. When you open up a Chromebook, you'll log in with your username. So this would be like your Google username and password, and immediately you'll be connected to all of your Google apps. So your Gmail, your YouTube account, everything that you're logged into. But what we feel is that the future of Google, the future of education, the future of how we use the internet in general is going to be 100% web. So that means everything that you access can be accessed through the internet, regardless of where you are. This also means that regardless of what device you pick up, whether you're using a mobile phone, a tablet, or any kind of computer, your experience will always be the same, because once you log in, you'll have everything that you need. So for example, when you log into your Chrome browser, you'll have all of your bookmarks will automatically be there, regardless of what device you're using, just because you're logged into your Google Apps account. So we want to really look at some of the challenges that are facing schools right now. So I'm quite sure a lot of you are facing maybe issues around budget control. So how do we maximize the value and the quality of education that we're giving to our kids while also minimizing the financial impact? And also when we're talking about Chromebooks, we're not just talking about the actual physical cost of the devices themselves, but also how much it actually costs to run and to maintain and to manage those devices. That's something else that we also want to encourage people to think about, the total cost of ownership of devices. When we talk about management here, it's the management of the devices. How long does it take you to manage devices every single summer, when you have to re-image computers, when you have to make sure that they're clean of viruses? How long does that take you? And how, imagine a world where, for example, you wouldn't have to scan your computers for viruses. You wouldn't have to spend hours and hours checking each individual computer and managing them individually. Imagine how much time that would save you. This also feeds into the notion of scalability. So in Google, it's a word that we use a lot, we throw it around a lot, but scalability for us means the power to scale, the power to enable each individual person to have their own device. So how easy is it for you to enable every single child to access the computer, to access the services that they need, to access ICT in education. And students, what are the challenges facing you in your classrooms itself? I mean, imagine a classroom situation where you're sitting there with 30 children. Each of them has a Chromebook in front of them. Imagine how amazing it would be if they could open up their Chromebook and in 8 seconds flat, everyone is online and everyone is immediately ready to learn. Imagine how amazing that would be. So that's something that we want to talk to you about. Key theme for Chromebooks is easy. They're easy to use. As we said before in the Google Apps for Education presentation, most of your students probably already know how to use Google Services, Gmail, Google Talk, Google Sites, for example. So Chromebooks, they're so easy to use. A lot of them will be just familiar with browsers already, so they'll be able to really easily know and use the services because they already know how they work. Extremely easy to manage. So I'll show you a screenshot of our management console. How amazing would it be, for example, if you're sitting at your home computer and you can log in from any device that you have. You can log in from your iPad, you can log in from any computer that you have at home. Log in, and if you have a website, for example, that you want to block, you can do that from home. And the next day you walk into your classroom and you know for sure that on all of the devices, all of the Chromebooks that your kids have, that policy is now enabled on all of those devices. So this is something that's incredibly easy to manage from an IT administrator and from a teacher's point of view. It's easy to support, so if you run into any issues with your Chromebooks, what you can do is you can call our 24/7 support team. Normally what happens is you can just restart your computer. There's nothing saved locally on the devices themselves, so there's actually very little to go wrong on the devices. Students can't download anything to the devices themselves, which means that whenever you turn on your computer again, it will actually download everything, download the latest version of the Chrome OS from the web. So that means that you'll always have the most up-to-date security policies installed on all of your devices. And incredibly easy to scale. So as we said before, it's really easy to push this out to 30 kids. You don't need to manage and control each individual computer. It's really easy to manage in a classroom setting. So how many people here have used the Chrome browser? Can we just get a show of hands? If people use the Chrome browser, fantastic. So you guys are already Chromebook experts. When you open up a Chromebook, you'll just see the familiar Chrome browser design. It's incredibly easy to use. So if you use a Chrome browser, you'll already know that one of the key features is speed. So it works so much faster than most other browsers on the market at the moment. It's incredibly simple to use, and also it's incredibly secure. So if you imagine if you have 10 tabs open on your Chrome browser, if something happens on one tab, if a virus, if something happens on one side or one tab crashes, it doesn't mean that the entire browser crashes. It means that one tab crashes. So it's something that just makes everything really simple to use, but also much more secure, because if something happens, it isolates that on that one individual tab. You exit that, you refresh it, it's all back to normal again. So you don't waste time. Speed. So I think this is the key aspect for schools. If I would just challenge you all to go over to the Chromebook bar when we're finished, close over a Chromebook, open it up again, and just see how long it takes for it to boot up from scratch. It is literally 8 seconds flat when you turn off Chromebook, open it up again, hit the power button. It'll literally be up and running in 8 seconds. Imagine how much of a difference that would make in your classrooms. They can also connect to Wi-Fi and 3G. And also, you should also take a quick look at the keyboard itself when you look at the Chromebooks. We've changed around the way that the keyboard itself is set up, so that instead of a caps lock button, we have a search button. This is incredibly useful, and I can't do without it when I'm surfing right now. You literally just hit the search button, and it opens up a new tab where you can immediately do your searching. This is just all these tiny little changes, these tiny little things that make your life so much easier. Incredibly simple. So once you log into your Google Apps account, everything is synced across. Everything is synced. So that means that regardless of what device you pick up, everything will be synced. As long as when you connect to your Google account, all the preferences that you have will immediately show up. So this just makes it incredibly easy for you to share Chromebooks. So you don't need to give one specific Chromebook to one specific student. Any student can pick up any Chromebook. Once they log in, they'll have their own personal environment there. And this little thing over here, you can ask us to show this to you on the Chromebook devices later. But this is the actual management console. So this is where you, as the administrator, can log in and can actually enforce policies which will roll out across all of the Chromebooks which you have in your classroom. Incredibly secure, as we said before, personalized by users. So once someone is logged out, if you check over on the Chromebook devices, you can actually log in with your own personal Gmail or Google Apps account. So that means that once you log out, you'll see a number of either pictures or people's own individual profiles on the Chromebook. You can really easily remove those, but it means that it's incredibly secure, because unless you have the password, you cannot log into that other person's account. It also means that because nothing is stored on the device, all of your data is incredibly secure. Unless you have the password, you cannot get into your own account. You can't access the data. It just makes the Chromebooks incredibly safe to use. So this is the $1 million question. How much do they cost? So while Google Apps for Education is entirely free for students, staff, faculty and alumni, Chromebooks, we do charge for Chromebooks, but we do give a significant education discount. So depending on your country, it's €17 or £15 per device per month. We'll also have a 1-year model that you can pay entirely for 1 year upfront, so you can check that out on the website as well. So just to recap, this is just a really quick recap. What I really would love you to take away from this presentation is the incredibly fast boot from the Chromebooks. 8 seconds to launch, 8 seconds to learning. Minimal training needed. You saw the number of hands that went up when I asked how many people have used the Chrome browser. I'm sure your kids are all incredibly familiar with browsers. This is not something that will involve training or introducing them to something new. This is already something that they know. It's incredibly simplified IT, so you decide what security controls you want to enable on your domain. And it's also built for the web. While Google has a huge number of services, everything from Gmail to Blogger to YouTube, we also have a huge number of third-party applications, which, because Google is built on open source, everything can connect into Google. So people can build their own connections into Google. So when you log into your Google Apps account, a lot of schools will connect in Moodle, Blackboard, any of the VLEs that they use, and most applications can actually sync with your Google Apps account, which just makes everything so much easier for you.